Ballers assemble. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Beats and Balls Show, the alternative sports entertainment podcast about popular culture and the sports that we love. We're not going to be talking tactics. We might be talking a little bit of tactics today, but just a little bit, and just for today, I promise. But for the most part, we're sticking strictly to the culture around the sports. I am JR, and to help me out today, I am joined as ever by the man, the myth, the legend. It's that guy, Ken. How are you doing, Ken?
I'm really good, guys. I'm really good. I hope you're doing well. I'm trying to be really good. I'm trying to pep myself up. It's almost Christmas and locked down. Locked in and locked down.
Yeah, tier 4, boys. Tier 4.
Oh, God,
it's locked down by any other name.
Exactly. Yeah. How did they just you know when you just rebrand something really quickly? It. So like all of a sudden lockdown became tier 4. They should do a commercial like on BBC and just do like a little street dance, tier 4. And you're like, okay, I'm like, how have they done this to us? But the fact is, it's gonna ruin Christmas, isn't it? Well, actually, it's definitely ruining Christmas for me. I don't want to get into it, but let me put it to you this way, guys. I'm gonna be spending Christmas on my ones.
Oh man,
yeah,
that's
nice.
Yeah.
At least in the modern day, you've got FaceTime and stuff, but obviously it's not the same, man. It's not the same.
Not. I don't mind. You know what? You know what's so funny? Yeah, literally. Here's a funny story. So as we were getting the announcement that we were actually going to be locked down for Christmas, guess what I was doing?
Go on. What are you doing?
I was buying lobsters. I was actually prepared to make some nice lobster for my family. So I'd just gone out and I'd gone to go and pick up my nice 2 succulent, lobsters, ready to make my lobster dish. And then I'm hearing, yo, you're not going nowhere. I'm like,
that's
what am I doing?
Man.
I'd never made it before, and I was actually going to experiment and do something really classy this year. So here we go, stuck in the house. Me and my 2 lobsters looking at each other.
Are they live lobsters or are they frozen?
No, well they were, not anymore. But now I'm like,
were they socially distanced lobsters?
They were socially distancing live lobsters, but not anymore. Now they were looking at me with beady eyes, and I think they were trying to tell me, "Bro, don't do this, don't do this." No. And then I heard the news, and now they're not.
That's quite. But we're going to get through it, man. We're going to get through it.
We move.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Of course. And of course, the man behind the scenes who's pushing all the buttons. He keeps the show ticking over. It's Mr. Chris. How are you, man?
Yo, good. Very good. Ready for the show? Yeah. Ready for our last show before?
Yeah, you ready to see
our last show
year?
for 2020?
2020.
Waving goodbye to 2020 with this show.
Let's put the year in a box, lock it, and just never look at it again. Because this year, we need to get rid of this year.
You know what? I was just saying, I was saying to someone else the other day, very soon we'll be able to say, in hindsight, it's all 2020.
But to be honest, there's part of me that's just kind of looking forward to 2022 rather than 2021, because I don't even think I'm ready for what that might bring. But
I need to see terms and conditions before
before you press accept.
Before I say I'm ready or I want to see it, where the rules? What can I take back? Is there a 14-day receipt?
This is the Beats and Balls Show.
This is season 2, episode 3, and it's our final show of 2020. It's been a tough year for everybody, but we have persevered to get through it. We've got so much to get through in today's show. Firstly, we'll be talking about ultimate glory and making some long-awaited dreams become a reality. For this, we'll be taking some inspiration from the one and only Maria Carey. And we'll also be discussing the trend of footballers seemingly taking more and more outlandish kicks from the penalty spot. And as football fans, do we even care how they're taken? Or do we just want to see that net bulge? And what about free kicks? What happened to the artistry of a free kick master? There just doesn't seem to be many of them about these days, and we're going to be touching on that. Also, our annual segment, Ballers Anthems, makes its long-awaited return, where we'll each be putting forward one song that sums up 2020 for us, and also one that can maybe give us a little bit of hope for the year ahead. And as always, we'll be wrapping up the show and rounding off the year with Baller of the Week, where me and Ken both nominate one person or group who has been outstanding in their field, and it's up to Mr. Chris to judge the winner. But before any of that, let's jump straight into the socials.
What's been happening in the socials right now? All we're getting feels like lockdown has killed any kind of social hype. You know what I mean? It's like there's a little bit like I kind of stay away from like social media and the news now because everything seems to be geared towards us not having fun. I want to go back to us having fun. What is fun? You tell me, what have you seen that's fun recently?
What have I seen that's fun? That's a tough question. I mean, well, given that we're both Arsenal fans, there's not much fun going on in that aspect. Generally on social media, all everyone's talking about is lockdown and stuff, man. But I suppose I was just going to mention the return of the Mobos from the first time since, I think it's 2017. There were some big hitters that won big. J5 got Best Producer, well deserved in my opinion. Heady One got Best Male Act. I personally think he should have been in for Best Album because for me Edna was a quality album. I suppose everyone must have heard Ain't It Different, featuring AJ Tracy and Stormzy. It was on rotation like non-stop last few months. H got Best Newcomer. I think he's going to have a really bright career.
I actually don't know H. Who is
H? He's a boy from Manchester. He's just like a little kind of cheeky young lad, I suppose you could say. But yeah, he's pretty cool, man.
He's really charismatic.
Yeah. Have you heard Rain by AJ Tracy and H? It's I don't know. It was like a summer anthem, really, but it was pretty cool. So yeah, listen to that. I do think Big Conspiracy by J Hus may have also got a look in for Best Album as well, because it didn't come out this year, but like I said, the Mobos hasn't been on for a while. And yeah, I reckon that is such a good album, man. I can listen to that non-stop.
No, I think right now the music is probably the one thing that's keeping us alive, isn't it?
Are you eating, Ken?
No.
It sounds like you're munching.
You've been caught out. What are you eating? Is it a mince pie?
Actually, it is actually online. It is a mince pie. I've got this. You know what? Aldi do the best mince pies on the planet, bar none. I discovered them last weekend. I literally have I had 6 boxes. They were meant to go to the family on Christmas Day, but now that I'm doing Christmas on my ones, I just popped them open, had some ice cream with them last night, and I've been eating mince pies all day.
You should take before and after pictures now.
Oh man, yes.
Yeah, like reverse transformation.
Yes. My picture in the gym yesterday, people were like, Ken, what happened to your stomach? Where are your abs?
It's been mince pied up.
There you go. All right, sorry, my bad. But yeah, the music is saving us. It's the one thing that's actually saving us. Like, there's so much good music out there right now.
This is the Beats and Balls.
Beats and Balls.
This is the Beats and Balls show.
Now, in terms of football, we all know the controversy that VAR has brought into the game. But one thing is undoubtedly clear. The number of penalties that have been awarded since its introduction has skyrocketed. So this means that we've been seeing players adopt more and more interesting ways to try and outwit the keeper from 12 yards. But it's a delicate game of risk and rewards. Yeah, you can go all elaborate and you can make the keeper look like an absolute fool. Or as we saw earlier in the season with Fulham's Ademola Lookman, you could instantly turn yourself into a meme. But here at the Beats and Balls show, we're fans. We're the lifeblood of the sport, and we'll be discussing whether or not any of us actually care how a penalty is struck, and whether it's even the right moment in a game to be showing off your techers. So, opening up the floor, what do you guys think? Like, do you appreciate the nerve that some players have to be so nonchalant? Or, to use a footballing cliche, has the game gone, so to speak?
You know whose penalty technique I actually rate?
Who?
Well, for the ones that he has taken. Ainsley Maitland-Niles.
I was going to say that. He can take a penalty, yes.
He can take a penalty under pressure, literally with dreaming hellfire literally around him. He looks like he's so nonchalant about it. Like, it's just like, it's not even like it's another day at the park. It's like, oh, you want me to do this thing, yeah? Okay, let me just do a quick little walk up, take my time. This ball back of that net. Yeah, okay, babe, just give me a minute. Okay, come. Boom, done. We'll turn around, walk away. It doesn't excite him. There's no nerves. There's nothing. It's just another part of what he's meant to do.
But you see, everyone always says that he must have a smoke or something before he goes out onto the pitch because
he's just chill.
He's so chill. Even if you look into his eyes, he just looks like he's not quite there. Like he might have had a few tokes. Who knows?
He's blazing.
Yeah.
No stereotypes.
You know what I'm saying? None at all.
No, where did that come from? But I mean, I remember like back in the day when the kind of nonchalant, saucy sort of penalty, it was reserved for the top ballers, man. Like Zidane, Pirlo, Totti, these kind of man. Like, why do you think we're seeing so many people just try and reach that peak? I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it because it seems like such a pointless thing to be going for.
I think some people are just looking for their meme because that.
Looking for a meme?
Ademola Lookman, yeah? When he took that penalty, it was like, why are you doing that? His team hadn't scored any goals, and that was the last minute.
It's like 94th minute or so.
Yeah.
And he tried to do a Penenka.
It's not about that.
Scored a goal.
But this is what I mean, though. Like, I can't see any logic for any player taking that kind of risk because let's say you're an Ademola Lookman, you're maybe a lesser player playing for a lesser team, right? If he puts that away, no one's gonna suddenly like revere him for having this audacity and raise his game or whatever. If you are a player at the top of your game and you're one of the best in the world, you've already got so much in the bank, like actually meaningful moments that you've done on a football pitch. Like, why take the risk? I just don't understand. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Do you know what? If it's Sergio Ramos, you know, in a Champions League final and they're winning 2-0 already and they say, okay, Sergio, step up, take the penalty, and he does a Penenka because he's Sergio Ramos and he is their penalty taker and he is a defender and he's, you know, up against, let's say, someone like the Bayern Munich keeper, like what's his name? What's the
Neuer.
Guy? Neuer. It would make sense because you're a defender up against who's rated as probably the best goalkeeper in the world. You try a Penenka, boom, it goes in, it works off. They're like, oh my days, Ramos has been putting away these penalties, but now he's tried a Penenka and it worked out and he pulled it off. Then they won 3-0. They were already 2-0 up. You get it. He has a little bit of glory.
But you know, Sergio Ramos is not going to do a Penenka in the field of battle. As far as he's concerned, he won't do that. He will score the goal.
That's what I mean. Like that's ultimately the most important thing. Like maybe in those circumstances,
although he did miss 2 recently.
He did. Yes, I was about to say he did miss 2, and I think one he did. I think one he tried to be cheeky and it went over the bar, didn't it, or something along those lines. So it's not that missing is impossible. But I think the Penenka, the reason that I find that a little bit audacious is because you're literally floating the ball and waiting for the keeper to dive one way or the other. That to me is audacious because one, if you float it too long, the keeper may dive one way or he might not dive far enough and he can get back because the ball is literally just locked in. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It takes too long. But like to even do it, like why would you do it unless you know 100% there's no risk? That's a risk attempt.
Do you know the history of the Penenka? It's a guy who.
Yeah, I was about to go into that actually, but go on, Carl.
No, you go ahead. You've probably got notes in front of you.
I don't, but I just remember.
Okay.
It. So Penenka, the player, was he Czechoslovakian?
Yes,
I believe.
Yes.
And so he started working on it in training, and it was part of a game that they were doing in training. The loser had to buy a beer or something like that. And he realised that the keepers were always diving one way or the other, so he could just chip it down the middle. And he just honed it for a good few years. And the moment that he decided to bring it into a game, was it the final of the Euros against West Germany?
Yes.
So that in itself is audacious, man. But I can understand it more in that moment because no one's ever seen it before. So it is in a way, it's less of a risk because everyone knows that the keeper's going to go one way or the other. But ultimately, it was the final of a major tournament, and so there's